blends me all the right cred, meaning credentials. Best of both worlds when we rockin' over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady. To the letter right. Turn it up. We giving a show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind?
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football.
Coach, as the 2019 regular season starts speeding toward conclusion, not too many games remain to be played here in Oakland, California. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Tennessee Titans and the Oakland Raiders. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the only six-time Super Bowl champion in league history. In his 20th season now, Tom Brady.
And we keep hearing from people who are waiting to see the drop-off in his play. I'd quit worrying about it. I'd quit looking for it. He says he wants to play until he's 45. Is there any reason to doubt him? His skills have shown no sign of declining.
53, Mike, 53. Let's go, D. Big Z. Hey, 66.
They'll run with a second-year man from ASU, Kalen Ballage. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. The numbers on the ground last week for Ballage. 15 carries, 69 yards.
Well, we know they've clinched a playoff spot, but there's plenty of football left to play, and I'm a proponent of continuing to do what you've done throughout the season, especially with teams that are heavy run teams, because if you throttle back too early, you lose the rhythm of the run game, not just with the runner, but with the offensive line as well.
Joker, 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 Joker. Hey, check it.
They'll run here with Ballage. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
Hey, Alpha.
Mike 50, Mike 50. Here we go.
From the gun, it's Brady. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 14 yards is the pickup there. Raider first.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call it?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
53. Mike 50. Hey, man, watch the boot, watch the boot.
Goal 50.
They run it with Balaj. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38.
Check it. Hey, orbit.
Snap comes at 1, and it's Brady. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, a 22. This is one thing you can't do with Tom Brady. Let him get in a rhythm, let him get rolling early.
Every time you talk about Tom Brady or any other great quarterback, you always talk to the defensive guys and they say, you got to get him off his spot. What they mean by that is when you go back 3-step, 5-step, 7-step drop, and they just hit the same spot and then they're set up to throw the ball, get them to move a little bit, get them to hold the ball. And the pressure that affects just about any quarterback, right up the middle. Remember the Super Bowl? Atlanta's best success came up the middle pressure, what we call gut pressure.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defense. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
Here's a run with Balaj. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now Balaj. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Kalen Balaj, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Titans under second-year head coach Mike Vrabel. They'll be led out by the MVP of the National Football League in 2018, the former Texas Tech Red Raider, Patrick Mahomes.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Come get some. Come get some. Come on here.
Mahomes now on first down. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Trevor Williams there on the coverage. Offensive starters time. Electric is certainly a word that comes to mind when you talk about Le'Veon Bell.
Love the way that he reshaped his body coming out of college. A bigger, thicker runner while he was at Michigan State. Lost weight, became more of a whippet in the NFL, and now no one can tackle the guy, whether he's running it or catching it.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now here's Mahomes. A screen to Bell. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. That last catch winds up costing him 3, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd and 13. Mahomes now to throw. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15, and the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got this. We got this. Go, Bandit. 53's the mic. 72.
Here's Brady to throw. Buying time to his left. And he finds his man, the tight end Olsen. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a 1st down.
Let's go.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
Hey, Alabama.
Balaj. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Heavy. Watch the backfield. Watch 84. 2 times. Check nickel. Hey, goal 66.
On 2nd and 9. Brady flushed out right. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this 1st quarter. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. If they want a 1st, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down.
Tight end right. Hey, 4 down.
Shotgun now for Brady. And Olsen over the middle. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Titan 16. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
That's trash.
On the delay, it's Balaj. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That play gets him 6 yards and sets them up with a 1st and goal. Throwing now is Brady. They'll set up the screen to Balaj. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you either throw...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Doug Martin, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. This is Bell. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They go play action. Now Mahomes finds his tight end Ingram. That one good for a pickup of 15 for Tennessee.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. On 2nd down, it's Bell. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
All day, baby, let's go.
And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the 2nd quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
They'll start on the ground with Balaj. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Hey, seam 6. Seam 6.
Working from the gun, it's Brady. Airing it out for Olsen. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. John Johnson with the INT. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. That'll be caught by Kupp. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number one. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now this time they'll just keep this on the ground. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Mahomes now on first down. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Darqueze Dennard. Trying to get it that time to Stills. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. I'm going to come back to you.
Hey, ball 66. What we hit?
So after the INT, it's Brady. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Hey, Charlie.
53's the Mike. Regular.
Brady will try again on second down. It's complete. Doug Martin. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Brady now, 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10.
Hey, Alabama.
Let's go, Mike.
Now Brady. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Wait, set. Wait, Eddie.
Check.
Hey, 66.
Here we go, D. Hey, it's just me.
Brady now on first down. That's going to be caught. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Greg Olsen in the final seconds of the first half. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Tennessee offense making their way out onto the field as you take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoffs. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
From the 27, Mahomes. He'll get this one to Kupp, complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And this is going to be incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Nick Vigil leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open.
I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school.
From the 41, Brady. He's got a man. That's Keenan Allen. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 44-yard line.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes this forward for about 6. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 38-yard line.
Mike, 53.
Sugar!
From the 38, Brady. He's got Allen. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Brady now 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Forced out to his left. This one into the hands of the running back, Balaj. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
third quarter and you've got the lead, you're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Brady escaping the pressure right. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 4-yard pickup, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2.
3 down. Watch 84. Watch 84. He's going.
Hey, 66.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Hey, check it.
They'll run for it with Martin. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Doug Martin, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. When you talk about a battle being won in the trenches, that touchdown right there, a lot of credit to the offensive linemen.
Yeah, when you watch them surge across the front, they really created great space for the runner to get in.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
I'm on.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. That's complete. It's Bell.
Yeah, baby. Boom.
We have played 3 quarters, and that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Here I come.
Throwing now is Mahomes, and his throw here's incomplete. Danny Amendola, the man he was trying to get it to, and it's 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Here comes Pettis on the return.
Good work, boys. Let's go.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
And that last reception puts him over 150 yards. So tough to cover a big tight end like that.
It changes the chalk, as one of my coaches like to say, meaning the normal things don't apply. All right, you used to say, okay, there's a tight end going out. We're either going to put a big linebacker on him or maybe a safety and call it a day. Now, because of the strength of that position and the sheer number of catches that they make as well as their dexterity, sometimes you have to put a cornerback on him because he might be the primary guy going out for a pass. It changes what they do defensively, and it's usually not good for the defense.
Round 80. Round 80.
Let's go, D.
Right back to him on first down. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Tackle made there by UwishUcould's.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Come on. You better bring it. Get him.
From the 41, Brady dancing to his left. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation. The Raiders on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. Here it's 3rd and 2.
It's going to be a long day.
Go Bandit.
Brady eluding the pressure right. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Hey, foxtrot, foxtrot.
I got him. 53's the mic. 53. Check 53.
72.
On 2nd and 11 now. Brady, and they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided.
Hey, Alabama.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
Hey, roll 66.
Brady going to look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Boom, all day.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Brady now on 3rd and goal. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. One final try from Mahomes. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Todd Davis.
Pick, baby. Good stuff. Keep doing that.
So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Oakland, the win pushes their record now to 11-2 on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the Jaguars will come to town. Meanwhile, for Tennessee, it's just their 3rd loss as they fall now to 10-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.